What's going on, everybody? Sending my love to everyone who watches this video. I know right now we're going through a very unusual and for a lot of people around the globe, just unfortunate time. But I wanted to come on here and share some resources, especially for the artists, the dancers that are out there, which is crazy. It lines up because I was already planning to roll out a video with untapped resources for urban artists. And here we are in a global pandemic. But there is some silver lining for all the people who have had a lot of loss of income. There is a huge stimulus plan. There's a lot of benefits and there's a lot of ways we can tap in. You just have to be up to date and aware and try to hop on as soon as you can, because for a lot of it, unfortunately, is first come, first served basis. So I'm pretty much going to go over some resources and, I'll roll back around and actually drop that video that has those resources. But I felt like for now, it's a good time to kind of go over what's in front of us right at this moment. So I'm going to get into all of that after this intro. So, the government has rolled out a $2 trillion stimulus plan to support the economy on a consumer level and a business level. And in that plan, there's just a lot of different packages that were put in place to pretty much, help stimulate and keep the economy going and recoup some of those losses. As an artist, for all of my artists, people who will be watching, all of my self-employed contractors, anybody who's done any type of gig work, anybody who's ever had a 1099, this includes you. There's a lot of benefits and plans that are here for you. And I'm talking like free money. I'm talking about grants, forgivable loans. I'm talking about unemployment, which if you were an independent contractor, you weren't really eligible for unemployment unless you set yourself up as a corporation and paid yourself on payroll. But and that's another conversation. But for those who weren't eligible before, you are now eligible. And like I was saying in the beginning, the only thing that is super important is time right now. Like, you literally have to do this ASAP. Cool? So to pretty much start, we're gonna be getting a stimulus check. Definitely reach out to an accountant if you can. Definitely, if you didn't file a tax return for 2018, you should definitely file a tax return for 2019 as soon as possible. They are pushing out $1,200 for every person per household and $500 for every child. And it's super important that you have that information. If you already filed your taxes and you didn't opt in for the direct deposit, I think they're gonna be rolling out some type of web portal where you can put your banking information in. But definitely do that as soon as possible. If you haven't filed for the past 2 years, definitely file a tax return. Because if not, they're gonna be mailing you a check, and it's gonna take quite a while. So if you want to be in that first group of people, if you want to get it sooner than later, definitely file and get on it as soon as you can. For all of my artists, who have done gig work, we are considered small businesses. Even if you don't incorporate or get a DBA, anytime you get 1099 work, anytime you get commission work, like, you're pretty much self-employed. You're a business, and you're eligible for all of the different programs that they have for small businesses, including the first one, which is super important, that rolled out last week, economic injury disaster loan, which includes a $10,000 grant. They do have an online application that is super simple. I would say simple. It's easy. It's not long. It's very short. It is a little confusing because I feel like they just rolled it out and they didn't even consider the arts in terms of the options that they selected for what it is your business is. But I would just say put whatever you need to put, whether it's education or retail, like just put something and get that application in. And right before you submit that application, there's going to be an option that says, do you want the $10,000 advance? And that is the grant that you don't have to, it's money you don't have to pay back. And then once you click that, it gives you the option to put your bank account information in. So do that. A couple of things to keep in mind. If you didn't incorporate your business or get a DBA, your business and trade name is your name. So you don't have to worry. You can put your name in there, put it twice, and you can use your social if you don't have an EIN number. And all you have to do is just put, whatever is on your financial records, and you would have that in front of you if you filed your taxes. All you have to do is pull out your last year's taxes and say, what did I get for the year? All that information is there. There's a lot of questions you don't have to fill out, so don't feel like you have to answer every single question. There's some questions in there for nonprofits, for faith-based organizations, and a lot of the questions are pretty much self-explanatory. For owner information, you are the owner. You are the only employee, unless you have employees. Like, don't trip too much. Just get it in as soon as possible. They'll definitely circle back, and they're gonna offer you a loan, which you can take or not take. But if you made it in time to get that $10,000, that's your $10,000. You know what I'm saying? They also just rolled out today, and this is Friday, April 3rd. They rolled out the Paycheck Protection Program, which allows you to pretty much get a small forgivable loan that includes 8 weeks of payroll, and actually 2.5 times that. And they allowed people who were independent contractors to get in on that. So even if you didn't run payroll for yourself, I'm an S Corp. I did run payroll for myself. You can still fill out this application. They've expanded this program to include literally anybody who's considered a small business or independent contractor, sole proprietor. So fill that application out, and try to calculate your gigs for the season or your gigs for the last year, and come up with a number divide that number by week, and figure out what that number is. And once they ask you for more documentation, just put that documentation, bro. Don't make it too complicated. I mean, you're definitely gonna want to fill it out as accurate as possible, because this is all kind of like a rush game. You definitely don't want to have any major hiccups. So just make sure I don't want to rush you. Just take your time, fill out the application, but don't stress over because the applications are going to be a little strange. Like, they rolling this out just kind of like wham, wham, shabam, bam. You know what I mean? Like, and you're going to have to figure out just how to adapt, So do what you got to do. Do whatever research you got to do to make sure you're putting in the right information. But you guys are eligible for this, so jump on it. So yeah, with the PayPal Protection Program, they give you that loan, that amount or bigger, and they forgive the portion of the loan that you spend on qualifying expenses. And qualifying expenses, utility payments, rent, mortgage if you have one, payroll if you have that payroll, any payments you make to yourself, like, it's all forgivable. So just jump on that as soon as possible. They roll it out today. Get in there today, because millions of people are filling this application out literally about an hour. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of corporations, a lot of people, independent contractors, small businesses. So it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but you definitely don't want to be left out. So get up on that. Businesses who have employees, this can be, if you have an S Corp and you're the employee, up till December 31st, they're offering paid sick leave of up to $5,000, dollar for dollar. They're offering paid family leave up to $12,000 per employee. And they're offering an employee retention credit of $5,000 for each employee that you pay $10,000 or more in 2020. I'm gonna attach all of these links in the info section below, so all that information will be there. Whenever I get an update about any loan programs, any grant programs, any type of relief programs, like, I'm gonna tag that information down below. So, and I'll keep updating that info section. And if you have any information that I missed, that you want to drop, just leave it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We're all here to help each other in that way. And with that being said, grants, a lot of grant foundations and organizations are rolling out relief programs, and some of them are for small amounts, but literally you should be applying for anything that you can get to recoup for those losses, to make sure you're prepared for what's to come. You might have to check with your city or state locally to see what programs they have. I'll be connecting some resources for people out here in Boston. There's also some international ones that I'll also tag below as well, and then you can add to that if you want, but definitely get on. And these are the programs. So like in the original video, untapped resources for artists and dancers, I was going to talk about the combination of grants and credit, just the different options that we have out there to really help us expand and focus in on our art, and also put ourselves in a situation where we're creating a stream of income and we're being compensated for the time and work that we put in. And there's a lot of resources that are out there that are usually just untapped, you know, like because people don't know about it. Maybe you didn't know about these disaster relief programs that they have for businesses. Maybe you didn't know that they applied to you. And because of that, you'll be missing out on an opportunity to have this, you know, in a sense, like free money, you know, free opportunities to create ends for yourself and your family and the people that you take care of. Because this is like a super important time. We all really need each other. And that's what I was going to say. The last resource that I'm proud to say that I've experienced and that I see going around, just like around the world, is each other. We are our biggest resource, you know? So like, you know, there's a lot of people in the dance community, it's the community that I'm in, that have full-time jobs and benefits, and they weren't really affected financially. And I see those people stepping up and donating and making sure they support artists by buying their products, their online classes, their music, their art, or you know, whatever they're rolling out for the people who were like affected deeply. A lot of people are stepping up to direct some of their funds there, just to keep people afloat. You know what I mean? Like, we really do have to be there for each other, and I commend all the people who are stepping up in small groups and organizing, self-organizing, organizing small reliefs that are not organization-based, because like we need everything right now. Like, we need a combination of all. We can't just wait for the government. We can't just wait for these bigger organizations to step up and roll money out. Like, we need each other more than ever now, and it's been dope to see people stepping up. A lot of dancers are teaching dance classes, and a lot of people are teaching fitness classes, and I really feel like you know, it is a big transition to start teaching this stuff and rolling this stuff out online, and a lot of people are stepping up and doing it, including myself. So shout out to all the people who are keeping people moving. Like, in a time like this, anxiety levels, it can be high. If you want to try to keep your same routine that you were doing, stress levels are super high. You don't want to spiral, you know what I mean? So getting up and moving for at least like 15-20 minutes a day can really help with your mental health, with your energy, with your productivity. So if you do want to take some online dance classes, definitely tap in with me. If you want to take some private lessons, even if you haven't done it before, you want to try something new, just tap in with your boy and all the other dance teachers who are rolling out classes right now. But all in all, just keep your head up, keep your energy up, make some healthy choices, so you know we stay on top of our game, so when this corona thing is done, we can get back to the party and get together and vibe. Stacking Styles is still on the menu for September, you know, so make sure you keep that on tab. And I can't wait to see all of you again. I can't wait to session and be with y'all. Stay healthy, be safe. Talk to you soon. Holla.